Difference between managed services and staff augmentation. Key points by procoders. To keep the lights on is one of the most prominent ideas through web and mobile app development in the IT space. Because of the extremely growing technologies and the severe consequences that coronavirus has caused around the world, many companies need to have urgent help from commonly known models connected with outsourcing and outstaffing. And two effective growth models like staff augmentation and its competitor managed service are emerging in the arena. Your suitable question is, what outsourcing, outstaffing approach do you need to use? Managed service versus staff augmentation? These business growing models are totally different. What is the difference between staff augmentation and managed services? Let's start with the staff augmentation meaning. Defining the staff augmentation as the process of hiring an employee to internal staff. The difference between this process and regular hiring is that you hire a remote employee or a team for certain purposes for a certain period. They are not your permanent employees, but they are fully integrated into the internal team. A company, which wants to use this model for its project development, reduces hiring time and many efforts connected with it. Hiring time is greatly reduced because of the wide range of talents, especially in Ukraine. The newest survey showed that more than 55% of software developers are ready to leave their workplace for a high salary or a more profitable partnership. If we compare staff augmentation to managed services, the first model allows you to feel comfortable in the system of connecting or disconnecting a specialist you need. That's great because you don't have to worry about additional payments and taxes when hiring. Absolutely everyone wants to get economic benefits, especially while choosing managed services model versus staff augmentation. This is not surprising, because to find cheaper contractors without reducing the qualification force, and possibly strengthen it, is this really possible? Our answer is definitely yes. Your internal project managers can easily control the work, understanding the role of everyone in the team with IT staff augmentation not delegating any responsibilities to other models. They know clearly about the priority task and what you can do at the end. Before you start the staff augmentation, you need to evaluate all possible disadvantages of this model. Because the strategy does not involve a documented agreement on the level of service, except for working hours and responsibilities, the control of the process falls entirely on your shoulders. You must control the process so that your employees complete the tasks you need, and not something else. What is the managed service model? Another effective way to develop your company is through managed services. This is an opportunity to transfer control over business management systems to other hands. The global difference between staff augmentation and managed services is that MS is a part of outsourcing while SA is about outstaffing. The client company fully transfers management, monitoring, and control of its resources, delegating responsibilities to another company. This model helps to save the client's time capacity in terms of productive time management. You have outsourced your product to a managed services company and you no longer need to worry about intermediate deliverables and how to finish the project on time, and you can spend your time for fruitful marketing, for example. As you understand, the time saved can be more than spent on finding new business partners, improving marketing, and finding loyal investors. Do you feel what wonderful possibilities you have not yet grasped? By outsourcing your product to a reliable company, you are taking a break from responsibility. You do not need to be constantly on the lookout and check each stage. You have a fairly successful company, but you did not use online systems before and there was no staff of developers. You are confused about which path to take, but you want to confidently keep up with the times, using modern trends. This model will allow you to save time and considerable effort there if the work is done by a team of experienced professionals. It would seem that a managed service is just a storehouse of advantages. You delegate your responsibilities, get an experienced vendor, and enjoy positive feedback from customers. But you should be careful in this software development model. This is the main and significant con of the system. While using SA, you have a stable control by your home managers. There is an out vendor in MS. You need to be confident in the company by giving them full control over the management. After all, you will not be ABL. To see the intermediate result. If we compare staff augmentation to managed services, we understand the difference in costs is obvious. Management companies take risks, and this is the reason why the price is much more expensive. In this part, managed capacity versus staff augmentation is more than justified. Use staff augmentation if you have a new or a live project and urgent help is the key point. It's essential to enable or disable specialists without any problems. Our recommendation is simple. Don't forget to connect with your vendor company when you don't need a specialist. You want to control all software development stages and know the inside process well. It's a useful choice to cope with staff augmentation there, because of personal responsibility while managed services can't provide. Use managed service if you don't have a skillful technical manager and even the thought about routine management makes you crazy. All you should do is to find a talented, experienced vendor who will take responsibility for yourself. You are ready to fully delegate responsibility, you are aware of all possible risks, you know how to properly formalize contracts, so as not to be deceived in expectations and, of course, the consequences. In our present reality, managed capacity versus staff augmentation will become a great resource for the best results. If you can correctly use these models for your business, taking into account their advantages and disadvantages, you will not only achieve the desired success but also rise to new heights. Knowing what the difference between staffed augmentation and managed services is and how to use the models correctly is a key point. Read more on Procoder's blog.